In 2026, Josiah Hale had everything. A famous father, a billion-dollar AI company, a room full of investors waiting for him to be right. Then he told them the one thing nobody wanted to hear. AI won't just create abundance, it will create dependency. They laughed. Not because he sounded wrong, because he sounded too early, and powerful people hate being warned by someone they already envy. 2 years after Joe warned them, Sevenfold called an emergency board session. No shouting. No scandal. Just clean glass, quiet lawyers, and people pretending betrayal was process. They said his warnings were unstable. They said he threatened sovereign contracts. They said the company had outgrown its founder. Then his credential went dark. No office, no code, no accounts, no defense. They didn't throw him into a pit. They revoked every door out. After Sevenfold erased him, Nile Corps found him. Not publicly. Not loudly. Just a private offer from a company too powerful to need applause. Nile Corps ran the systems governments depended on: benefits, identity, workforce routing, emergency AI. Joe understood resilience better than anyone, so they gave him a title, a floor, a team, and then they showed him the truth. They didn't want him free. They wanted him useful. Joe refused to sign. One signature would have made Nile Corps untouchable. One signature would have made entire cities dependent on a system they didn't control. So he walked out. By morning, the leak was everywhere. Documents, voice clips, security footage, all polished, all convincing. They said Joe tried to steal sovereign AI architecture. They said he was dangerous. In a world full of synthetic evidence, the truth didn't disappear. It just arrived too late. After the Genesis leak, Joe wasn't arrested. He was worse than arrested. He was unrouted. No job offers, no investor calls, no verified travel, no system willing to carry his name. So he disappeared into places the platforms barely served. Libraries, church basements, rural data co-ops, cities with broken identity queues and benefit systems timing out. That's where Mara Chen found him. Not as a founder, not as a threat, just a man who still knew how to fix what everyone else had abandoned. Elias Hale still had power. That made the silence worse. After the Genesis leak, he watched his son's name become a warning label. Dangerous, unstable, untouchable. He wanted to speak, but Sevenfold held the contracts, the lawyers held the language, and Benjamin was still inside. So Elias did the only thing he could do. He saved everything. Old messages, old forecasts, old videos of Joe saying the same thing before the world punished him for it. He couldn't clear his son's name, so he refused to let the truth disappear. By 2042, the crisis had a name: the Great Dependency Famine. Not because the world ran out of intelligence, because it forgot how to live without renting it. The Global Infrastructure Stabilization Council ran 7 models, 7 futures, all impossible. Record productivity, record automation, record abundance, and still, benefits failed, cities stalled, workers disappeared from the routing systems. No advisor could explain it. Then Mara Chen remembered a man in a library who had already seen this coming.
I know someone.
When they brought Jo Hale into the council chamber, no one applauded. Most of them still knew his name as a warning: dangerous, unstable, untouchable. Amara showed him the 7 models: record productivity, record automation, system failure everywhere. Joe looked at the projections and said the thing no one else would say: the abundance caused the famine. Then he showed them Storehouse, community-owned compute, offline AI, local skill registries, identity backups, crisis logistics. Not a way to control the world, a way to keep it alive.
Stabilize it, but I need your trust.
By 2046, Sevenfold was everywhere. Government contracts, enterprise agents, centralized compute corridors. The same company that erased Jo Hale had become too big to fail. Then the low-access regions went dark. Their systems couldn't route benefits, couldn't verify identities, couldn't move labor, medicine, or power. So Sevenfold requested emergency access to Storehouse. They expected a network. They expected a protocol. They expected a signature. Instead, they were brought before someone called the steward, and none of them recognized him. The steward did not grant Sevenfold full access. Not yet. He offered them a smaller door, limited Storehouse integration, emergency routing, enough to keep their systems alive. But there was one condition. Sevenfold had to name the cause of failure, publicly, and place it on Benjamin Hale, the youngest, the least protected, the one who had warned them from inside. Years ago, they would have done it. This time, Judah King stood up first. Take my seat, take my shares, but don't bury him for what we built. And for the first time, the steward saw something different. After Judah refused to sacrifice Benjamin, the steward closed the room. No advisors, no operators, no council observers, just the men who erased Jo Hale and the man they thought was gone. He shut down the identity layer. The projection faded. The credential mask dropped. The system stopped calling him the steward. And then he said it. I'm Joe. No one moved, because the man they buried was alive, and he had built the only system left that could save them.